The PlayStation blog today, April 7th, 2021, posted this announcement for this cinematic survival horror open world game called Abandoned, hitting PS5 later this year. And it's quite interesting. It's a short trailer, right? Just shows a guy, he's walking in the winter woods, right? And it's very calm, serene, but the guy has a gun. It's very interesting. Here's a description about the game. Looking at it at first glance, it's like, oh, okay, cool, right? But then people started wondering, hey, this is kind of random. I mean, Blue Box Game Studios, I've never heard of them. Who are these guys, right? And at first you watch the trailer and it's like, oh, dude, all right, it's whatever, right? Nothing special about it. But then you go, you see who's the game director, right? Hassan Karaman, and he's a game director from Blue Box Game Studios with no prior posts on the PlayStation blog. You search him up, there's nothing about him online. He has a LinkedIn page, but it's super empty, which is kind of suspicious, right? Because this guy's initials, it's HK. What developer do we know who likes to go under these pseudonyms and fake names and everything? It's hidden there for the Metal Gear Solid 5 reveal rollout, but I was there for PT, and PT was a whole random studio, like 780s studio, no name, out of nowhere, right? And now you have this guy that has the same initials as Hideo Kojima. It's very interesting, right? And it's worth stating before we go deeper into some stuff that kind of sticks out from the whole environment surrounding this game, that since the announcement, Jeff Grubb, a reputable reporter from Venture Beat, he posted an article saying that Kojima Productions is working on a game, but it's not abandoned because Xbox is in talks to publish the next Kojima game to help Xbox's grasp on Japan, right? So it's worth keeping that in mind. However, prior to this, we have been hearing rumors of a Silent Hill reboot, new game in the franchise, over in Japan. So who knows? But I mean, when you look at all this, there's a lot of stuff that's really odd, and it really does make you wonder, is there something more to this? Is there a hint here? So I mean, first, let's go to the developer's Twitter page, right? It's rather empty. They announced this horror game called Rewind back in 2015, right? That's a year out after PT, which is interesting, right? And then they talk about their Kickstarter page, and they play they're just advertising. It's very interesting, right? Nothing new. And then, we got a link right here to their website, right? And then we go to their website, and it says, it's a very blank website. It's white and black, right? It says, we'll be right back. In the meantime, you can reach us at contact@blueboxgamestudio.com, right? And this is a small team, but all in one day, they already updated their website with a response to the Hideo Kojima rumors. They said they have no association with Hideo Kojima, nor do we claim to have any association, nor was it our intention to claim such a statement. And they're a small group of developers working on a passionate title, which, perhaps is true, right? Perhaps is true. But it goes deeper let's look at this, right? So here we have the announcement teaser, right, for the game. And you read a description, right, from YouTube, and it says Abandoned is a cinematic horror survival shooter that emulates realistic survival in first-person perspective, set in a massive, detailed open-world environment. All right, that's cool. While we don't go through the full gameplay details just yet, we want to give you a glimpse of what you can expect. The gameplay video will be available soon. In the meantime, we released an announcement teaser for Abandoned, which you can download on your PS5 soon to experience the high-quality environment real-time on your PS5 console. Very interesting, because as we all know, how was Silent Hill announced? Through a demo. And it's only through the ending of the demo where we realized what it was. No one knew what it was prior. It was uploaded under some fake studio, and ending, of course, as Norman Reedus walking in Silent Hill's title reveal, right? Everyone crazy, and they got canceled. So then let's check out, their Kickstarter page, right? This is for their game they talked about on their Twitter page in 2015, right? It's called Rewind. It's for PC, VR, and console, right? They had a goal of $11,866. They only made $207, right? And what's interesting is that if you scroll down, you will see that Rewind was fully funded by a private investor. Now on Kickstarter, you can't check who the private investor is, but it says, Blue Box Game Studio says, this will allow us to achieve our goals within a short time span. This was back in 2015, a lifetime ago at this point. It's 2021, it's been 6 years. So who is this private investor? Is it Sony? We know Kojima has a good working relationship with PlayStation, right? You know, we had Death Stranding using the Decima engine from Guerrilla Games, and Death Stranding was 2 years ago at this point. And there's been rumors that Kojima's working on a horror game again. So you have this random failed Kickstarter game backed by a private investor back in 2015. 6 years later, you have them showing their game for the first time, right? And looking at their website, this game was supposed to have chapters, their Kickstarter game. And chapter 1, what's it called? It's called Abandoned. Very, very interesting, right? And then you look at the previous game they published, right? It was a mobile game. The Whisperer, a paranormal investigation game. And the picture, it's a picture of a hand. Very similar Death Stranding imagery. However, you know, it's a paranormal investigation game. I don't think a trace of a hand is anything too solid on its own. But, I mean, looking at all this, I mean, in 2021, they're releasing another game, right? Called The Haunting Bloodwater. So if we look at this game, right? Some user on Reddit said this was a previous game that they worked on, right? It's an early access, right? It's a horror game. And it's very interesting, right? There's nothing related on here. The developer and publisher changed. It's not Blue Box Game Studios no more, right? But if we look at the reviews, and we look at this review by Hell Bishop, right? They actually responded to this one. You had one developer who responded, right? Sneaky Warrior with 2 R's. And we click on his page, Blue Box Game Studios as a group right there. And it's fully empty. You have one message from Goblin Gamer saying, how do I pay for early access? So looking at all this, it's really curious. Is this a Kojima game? You know, Kojima likes to have these extended mysterious rollouts under fake names and fake companies. I mean, I'm definitely keeping my eye out on this. I'm hesitant to say it's Kojima, but I will say that I'm in it for the ride. And you know, whether this is all just some bizarre coincidence or not, I mean, this is truly quite interesting when looking at everything. And then there's the thing where if you look at the PlayStation blog, right now I'm on my desktop, right? Very normal, right? You don't see anything over here. But when I pull up the article on my phone, and I have to close my Safari and reopen it, right? There's a phone number there. And I will read out the number right now just so you guys are aware of it. The number is 202-10326002256. Now, of course, I called them when I saw this number because I was like, what the hell, right? You tap it and your phone's automatically trying to call it. And I just got a Verizon message saying the number wasn't in use. I mean, did calling them maybe trigger something? Does everyone see this? I'd like to know if you guys are seeing it on your phones. But yeah, I mean, if this is just an indie studio releasing a regular game, right? No Kojima involvement, then all this stuff surrounding the game is just pure randomness, and it's crazy to think that something like that could happen. But who knows? We'll see what happens whenever this comes out, whenever this demo comes out. And you bet when the gameplay video comes out and there's more evidence floating around, or disevidence, I'll make a follow-up video to announce, to keep you guys up to date. Because I'm very interested in this. First person, I'm thinking Resident Evil, right? I love how Resident Evil went first person. And we know Silent Hill's, PT demo was first person, so I mean, is it a stretch? Who knows? We'll find out. Alright, see you guys next time. Peace.